There's been a flurry of announcements recently at Hettich, which is India's largest manufacturer of furniture fittings. The company had announced that it would be expanding its existing manufacturing facilities in India and will also set up a new plant in Indore in Madhya Pradesh. There was also talk of an acquisition at the global level. I'm honored to have Hettich India's Managing Director, Andre Eckholt, with me on the IKC Community Show. And we are going to be talking about the significance of these investments in India and overseas, and how Hettich aims to drive growth in the Indian furniture industry. Hi, Andre. It's good to catch up with you again.
Hi, Deepak. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks also for having me here today. It's a pleasure.
So let's talk about the inauguration of the new plant at Vadodara in Gujarat. What is the nature of the capex at Vadodara?
Well, Vadodara is the location where we have started our first manufacturing footprint in 2013. Let me put it in this way, and it was also the starting point with me in India. So at this point of time, I was asked by the group, by Dr. Hettich, if I would be interested to go to India and support the local entity to develop their first manufacturing footprint. So everything started with Vadodara, and it shaped up extremely well. And I think also beyond everybody's expectations, which we had in 2013 and how it is today. And over the past years, we have been investing not only into building, logistic and technology, but especially also into people.
But could you also describe how Hettich's entire Vadodara complex is shaping up? What's the size over there, the scale of operations?
With our latest investments, we have, let me say, we can say almost doubled the capacity for manufacturing of, in this regards, especially telescopic slides to cater the domestic, but more and more also the global markets. And the plant in Vadodara features state-of-the-art technology. So we are manufacturing products and following our German quality standards, because, I mean, if we are serving India and the global market, we cannot make any compromise on quality. And our production processes are fully automated. So we are utilizing cutting-edge European machinery mainly, and all while maintaining also a strong commitment to sustainability. So today we are supplying to Europe, to Middle East, and many other countries. Also, let me say, unlike other companies that are mainly importing from China.
So besides telescopic slides, do you manufacture any other of your components there, products there?
Well, since day one, we manufacture wire baskets, right? So mainly for kitchens. We talked about the telescopic slides, but also bed fittings. And if you ask me now from a Pan-India point of view, as you know, we have also the setup in Indore, where we are also producing soft close hinges. So means you can say that besides a little bit more commoditized products such as the telescopics, we are going with our future investments also more and more into higher sophisticated solutions, such as as I mentioned, soft close hinge that we are producing at the highest quality standard, and also followed with huge investments into technology, but also investments into the skill set of our employees. And in the future, we will also manufacture drawers and runners, which are from, let's say, day one, planned not only for India, but for the global market, especially for the Asia-Pacific market. And all of these products can be used as interior solutions in almost all the segments, such as retail, residential, kitchen, office, vanity, etc., etc.
your plants are also feeding your international markets. Could you give a number to the capacities that you have built up here, and how do they compare with the demand for those products in India?
Let me put it in this way. With our installed capacities, we obviously try to further penetrate the local markets, right? So, but just by taking again the telescopic slides, where we have just recently doubled the capacities from 1 million sets to 2 million sets a month. Let me take an example on this. There are, beside Hettich, a few other manufacturers in India which are also doing extremely well, right? But the demand for this, let's say, commodity product is by far higher than the installed capacities in India. And I believe that still more than 70% of the demand is supplied by China. So means even with our investment, with doubling the capacities, we will by far not be able to cater the entire market, and still we rely a lot, the market is relying a lot on imports from China. And if we take the soft close hinge as an example, our on this hinge, I mean, here we are still unique, I believe, in India, with this size of a company which is producing full automized a hinge for the local as well as the global market. And also here, the demand is by far higher. And I believe that the 70% was just a guess from me, a feeling that for the hinges, the number is by far higher, also in terms of what is being supplied from China and other countries. Yes.
Does that imply that all of the demand for Hettich products, telescopics as well as hinges, are met by the Indian factories, and it's not imported?
Yeah, telescopic slides, yes, 100% from Hettich India. So where else for the hinges? You know, we have there is a family of hinges what we have in our portfolio. So there is one hinge which is really catering the premium market, which is still produced 100% in Germany. It's our so-called Sensus hinge. So it doesn't mean that the hinge what we produce in India is from a different quality. This would be the completely wrong message, but there is a different specification behind. So on the one hand side, you have a hinge where the specification is, for example, 80,000 cycles opening and closing, whereas with the local produced hinge, the demand is maybe to cater the mass market more. 50,000 cycles are fine. So it's a more cost competitive product, but we never make any compromise on the quality.
With this kind of capacity building that's going on
in
India, and obviously this is not enough to meet the Indian demand as well, but going forward, say 5 to 10 years down the line, what role might Hettich India be playing in the global game plan of Hettich?
Essential already today. Hettich is, we are a 135-year-old family-owned German lifestyle brand, let me put it in this way. And we are globally one of the world's largest manufacturers of furniture, fittings, and hardware. We are in the fourth generation. Dr. Hettich himself, he was just 2 weeks ago again visiting India. You must have seen this also in a lot of interviews on CNBC and Times of India. He's very much interested in what is happening in India. And as a family business, one of the key company philosophies is the long-term sustainable growth. It's not only about getting fast numbers. It's always about long-term sustainable growth, handing over the company from one generation to the next generation. And it's in the DNA of all of us to also give back to the society. And that's why we are also in India. On the one hand side, there is a huge market to cater and to continue our growth journey, obviously with the support of our, all our great customers across the country. So, and naturally, the share on the overall group's revenue will grow year after year. So subsequently, also the investments will follow in the next upcoming years. And on the other hand side, there is a huge pool of young, motivated, and also highly skilled people, which is also motivating us as Hettich to further invest into India, more from also a manufacturing hub point of view, and more also focus on also, yeah, if you really say put 5 to 10 years, yeah, more and more focus on global products which are produced in India but made for the world.
This might also be a reflection of your attempt to make your supply chains more resilient.
Obviously, the supply chain is a very important topic. We can say that it's a strategic objective even to de-risk our supply chain and to overall become more self-reliant and also to protect against global supply chain shocks like we have experienced during COVID, but maybe also pop up in the future for other reasons, like we have just recently heard about possible anti-dumping duties on a few of the products which we are also manufacturing, or the BRS, which is also, let's say, building up certain restrictions. So as more we are investing local, as more we are de-risking our supply chain, as bigger our commitment is also to our customers. And we are very proud to be today the only multinational corporation in the industry with manufacturing setup at this scale in India. And most of the other players in this industry, they do not have this facility, and they are mainly importing their products. So this is another way of doing business, which is perfectly fine. We believe that with our investments, we are closer and closer to the needs of the market on the one hand side, and also in terms of reliability, in terms of consistency, in terms of commitment to the country, the people, to the society. The investments into the local manufacturing footprint will help us a lot, also to de-risk the supply chain.
Hettich has been known to be a supplier of furniture fitting for the mass market or for the mid market. Is this perception correct?
No. I'm surprised about this question. So no, I'm not surprised about the question. I mean, you are touching a pain point, which is a little bit emotional for me also. Obviously, we are producing in masses. Obviously, we do so because there is a huge market in the world which we need to serve with our products, and this is only coming along with fully automated assembly processes. But this does not mean that we would not focus on innovation. So we want to be seen as an aspirational lifestyle brand, so which is providing magical interior solutions to our clients. So from this point of view, it might be that in the past years, the market in India has been served with a lot of this, let's call it commodity products, but you know, there's also a need for these products in the market. But on the other hand side, there are so great products in our kitty. For example, the Avantec U drawer system, where we say it's individual as you, where the end customer can even up to the last moment decide about the finish, the color, the design of his drawer. So definitely we are more than only a mass producer of furniture fittings.
Well, at your address at the India Kitchen Congress, you did emphasize on the one mega trend that you are really going after, that is personalization. Does being a lifestyle brand address the emerging needs of personalization among consumers?
Obviously. I mean, if you just see it's personalization, it's individualization, it's coming also along with transforming rooms, transforming environments, which is, yes, it's a mega trend, but this is nothing what is happening in the future. This is what is happening today, every day, and especially in India, but also all across the world, more and more people are going from the rural area into the urban areas where space is limited and expensive. So we need to be creative. We have to come up with solutions which are allowing you as an end consumer to say, well, maybe I'm limited in area, but I want to be as flexible and in this area as possible. Hence, I need solutions which are allowing me to transform my living room into a kitchen, for example. And for this, yes, obviously we have a lot of products, a lot of solutions in our kitty, which we have also had the chance to display and showcase during the last InterZoom. And also we are happy, especially now during the upcoming ASTEC in Mumbai as well as in Delhi. This time is the first time we are on both, also to share all of these great solutions with our customers out there.
Let's now talk about the groundbreaking ceremony of your plant at Indore.
Yeah.
What investments are going into this proposed plant and what are the timelines?
Maybe let me start a little bit more global on what has happened in India since 2013 till date. We have invested approximately 1,000 crores in total in India since 2013 with 3 manufacturing plants. And we have just recently, as we have discussed, inaugurated the plant number 4 in Vadodara, where, by the way, also we are planning a big inauguration event in the upcoming weeks. Hopefully we'll be able to up to year end, where we also invite all our customers pan-India, that we can together open this factory. Means 1,000 crores into now in total 4 factories. And we are now going to invest another plus minus, right? 700 crores in the next 3 years. So from today, next 3 years, we believe end of 2025, we will be ready with 1 more manufacturing plant in Indore. And subsequently, we will increase our total number of factories in India then to 5. And also we will be helping with local employment opportunities and generating another, let me guess, because it's indirect and direct jobs, there's also a supplier base around us, approximately 1,000 direct and indirect jobs. And if you ask me from a strategic objective of setting up the new plant at this location, also again, starting more general, in India, it's one of the fastest growing economies in the world and has high growth potential, as everybody knows. Fastest growth, GDP growth among the G20. And it is also the second biggest market for Hettich after Germany and the fastest growing among all bigger markets for Hettich. So hence, we want to be as close as possible to the needs of the market, which at the end of the day also enable us to become more and more competitive. And now coming to Indore, this investment is a testament of the group's commitment to the Indian market from a long-term collaboration point of view. And it's also another step towards establishing India as I think I touched this topic already, as the next manufacturing hub after Germany. So to cater both, and this is the game changer. We started in 2013 only catering domestic, and now we are more and more going also global. It means domestic and global markets. And we are very proud that we've been one of the first countries, especially from Indore, which exports hinges to China. So normally it's the other way around. Other companies import from China and we are supplying to China. So this makes us really proud, and it's the testament of our efficiency also and the price competitiveness. Another strategic objective is here again, what we have discussed already, to more and more also de-risk the supply chain. Also from this reason, we have invested into Indore.
Well, let's now talk about the merger that has been announced recently between Hettich. Is it a merger or an acquisition? Hettich and FGV?
it's supposed to be a acquisition, 100% share to Hettich. So, but the approval of the antitrust authorities is still pending. That's why, I can only share with you what is also part of the official press release. But generally, Hettich and FGV want to shape our future in the industry together. So that's correct. Yes. And at this point of time, as I said, referring to our press release, Hettich and FGV intend to complement each other's strengths, right? In order to continuously also develop existing business activities, but also offer our common customers even with better added value solutions in the future. And we means both Hettich and FGV. We are two family-owned companies with a long history in our common sector. So we look forward to moving into the future together soon, learning from each other, and at the end, becoming even more powerful together, while keeping client interest and satisfaction as a absolute priority. So that's what I can say to the acquisition as on days. We both, Hettich and FGV, we will remain independent brands and companies, but within the overall Hettich Group. And we do share already today a lot of common values. We are two European family business. As I mentioned, we have the long history in a common industry. We are acting down to earth and in a responsible manner. And we are always with an eye on the next generations. So let's wait now for the final approval from the antitrust authorities, and then we can more openly also touch this topic in the future.
Thank you for being so politically correct. Yeah.
Welcome.
Among the various marketing initiatives that Hettich has been taking in India, one very prominent one has been the coffee table book, the architect's coffee table book.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this year you had the launch of the 3rd edition of the
Correct.
coffee table.
Correct.
Could you tell me a bit about what's this book all about? What are the objectives here?
As you have rightly mentioned, it's the 3rd edition. The first one introduced, last year. I guess it must have been somewhere in August during the Index exhibition in Mumbai. So we got such a positive response from the architect community that we were saying we cannot only limit it to this one event, and we have to also go beyond Mumbai. So that's why we have started the 2nd edition, which was related to the north part of India. And we had the coffee table book event last year, I guess in November, the 2nd edition in Delhi. And now, just recently, 2-3 weeks ago, we have been to Bangalore, south, with our 3rd edition. And then, obviously, we are also going to east. So last but not least, also to east with our 4th edition. And coming to your question, what was the objective of the coffee table book? The intent was to create a platform to showcase and celebrate architectural icons and designers who have used their vision and expertise to create architectural marvels that have completely transformed also the landscape of the country and even beyond at a large. And this is exactly what has led us to the inception of the book is called Thought Leaders in Architecture and Design. So, the book showcased a comprehensive profile of these premier icons, their vision, their work philosophy, their design journey, but it also highlights their focused approach of bringing space, design, and also technology to create architectural masterpieces, also with the support of our interior solutions. So this was the overall objective of the coffee table book.
What has been the outcome of this initiative over the last since last year, you are into the third edition. What kind of an impact is it creating?
I think we intend always to make it as objective as possible and to say, okay, we are doing something and we are inviting the architects and interior designers, and then thereafter we will see an immediate effect in the revenue of the organization. So this was definitely not the approach and not the expected outcome at the first stage. And I believe it's overall more intangible, right? So as you have mentioned, surprisingly, sometimes Hettich is being seen as a mass producer, also from the reason that we are so popular as a brand all over the country in the area where we are strong in when it comes to furniture fittings. So one outcome of this initiative is definitely that we want our business partners, and this is happening. This is happening actually because, you know, I'm traveling so much, I get the feedback from first hands. We want our business partners to perceive us as a aspirational lifestyle brand, which is providing them magical interior solutions. So, and the architects and interior designers communities, important, community for us, where you want to work as close as possible with, because together we understand better from each other and the needs from each other. So another outcome is definitely also to strengthen the relation to all the architects around the country. We are happy to cooperate with them, and we are even more happy if all of them are really feeling welcome to come to our events. So yes, and at the end of the day, it is positive, obviously, also for the brand awareness of Hettich as such.
I may mention that the Hettich brand is very conspicuous, particularly due to cricket. You switch on, you turn on a match on TV and you have Hettich right in front.
Yes.
It's the widest brand awareness campaign that I've seen of Hettich in all these years.
We have been part of the Asia Cup, that's true. And it's also helping me to understand more about cricket. So, and yeah, it's sports marketing. I mean, everybody has to find his own way on how to increase the brand recall. So obviously, Hettich is a brand in India and in a B2B as well as in B2C. And obviously, this is from a marketing PR perspective, more a B2C initiative, which helps us to increase in brand awareness all over the country. And obviously, in cricket is in India like it's a religion, like in Europe football, and so many people are watching cricket all over the world, and especially in India. And we also get a positive feedback for it, and we are happy when we can support this sport with our investment also.
The next step would be to acquire a team, cricket team.
Oh, as I said, we are Hettich. We are thinking in generations, and we keep our feet on the ground. So definitely, this is not our scope.
Let's now talk about the state of the industry, of the furniture industry.
Yeah.
How do you view the recent quality control orders for compulsory BIS certification of wood-based furniture materials like laminates, panel boards, wooden shutters?
Yeah.
And even there's a proposal to compulsorily certify some types of furniture also.
True. I think the discussion is actually ongoing in regards to telescopic slides. So that's the latest development. And I mean, there are different ways how to see it. But from a short-term notice, from a short-term perspective, in here and today, I believe it will cause some kind of pain to us, pain to the industry, as there might be a shortage of various commodities, those which are falling under the BIS criteria, especially since a lot of products are being imported from China, and most likely not always applying to the needed standards. So also this is the truth. And there is also what we also experienced, there is a complex process behind to get the products which are falling in this criteria tested and released according to the needed BRS standard. And there is a huge paperwork, there is a huge of bureaucratic behind to get all of these products released according to the standards. From a midterm, long-term view, I believe, and I'm very, very confident in this regards, I believe it will, it can only be beneficial to the entire industry, since it helps the industry to become, let me say, more organized. It will also increase the quality. It will also increase the safety standards of all the relevant commodities. And obviously, it will help the local industry to grow, because the investments will have to happen in India only. The investments will go into know-how as well as into technology. So the value addition overall will increase, and jobs will be generated, and overall the entire industry will become more self-reliant. So I think, to sum up shortly, short term, yes, to all of us it's a pain, but we should not see it from a short-term perspective. We have to come over it. We will manage it. From a midterm perspective, it will help India and our industry to become more organized.
Okay. But as you had mentioned earlier, that almost 70% of the demand for furniture components in general is still being fed from imports, primarily China and then perhaps some other countries. And now with these kind of certifications becoming compulsory, which might lead to more investments coming into India, more brands coming into India. Do you think that might be the scenario in the next 5 years?
Obviously, I mean, I'm not sure if more brands will come into India because of the BRS, but I'm 100% sure that the Make in India story or agenda will be very much supported in our industry, because at the end of the day, we have to invest into India, into the manufacturing, into technologies in order to cater the market. Because one thing is sure, the industry will grow, and the demand needs to be matched with products behind. So, and if the BRS is resulting into that more and more products are coming from India, it can only be positive again for the local industry. So, and I mean, again, short-term, midterm. Short-term could mean that whatever is being imported from wherever in the world doesn't mean that everything will not pass on. I mean, it is just a process. And also, I mean, there are shortages in the testing labs, for example. So all these things has to be considered, and the authorities, they need to play smart here, not to it should not result into that our industry at the end of the day, that the supply chain is empty. So then this would, from a short-term perspective, not help us, but from a midterm, again, I'm repeating myself, I see it only positive. And we have to see it also, like telescopic slides are that's not a rocket science. I don't want to motivate now everybody to invest into telescopics. I also believe that in the future years to come up, there is, like, today you are driving a car like a BMW 3, and in the future years, your wealth is growing and you are driving a BMW 5. So the telescopic becomes the quattro slide in the future. So it will be a more sophisticated product. So, but for a time being, the market needs the telescopics. So let's see how this thing will turn out with the BRS. I can only support it from a local perspective.
I think this is all in preparation for possibly bringing a PLI, scheme for the furniture industry to attract more investment into furniture manufacturing.
The furniture fitting industry in India needs government support, right? To actively participate in India's growth story and also confidentially produce goods for the world. It's not only for the local market, it's also always made in India, made for the world. So, and we as Hettich believe that production linked incentives, like you say, the PLI, will also encourage domestic players to invest more and more in manufacturing or engage in contract manufacturing. So this is leading to numerous economic benefits and also to technologically become more self-sufficient with also immense employment opportunities. So that's why I can only hope and motivate that the PLI scheme on the furniture fittings will be introduced soon.